When we got the email on this afternoon, I'm not sure if you're available or not.
Yes, so unfortunately, it turns out that I cannot get there by 1 o'clock.
We'll probably be closer to 2.
So I could be there by 2.
Okay. I will call you. Don Allen's going to call him at about 11:30 and get a 12 o'clock and get an exact estimate.
Okay,
or
so
close estimate.
at 2 I could get there. And Ira, I think you were gonna go. Can you make it at 2 today?
I can.
Okay.
I'll confirm the time with you though, as soon as he confirms. He may get here at 1, in which case he can hang around until
Okay,
you arrive.
Okay,
If there's any
yeah.
other things you want him to look at.
yeah. No, it'd be great to meet him and just talk about options. All right, so it's 9 o'clock on Thursday, August 4th, and let's begin the meeting of the golf course committee. Let's see our agenda. Guess we call to order. Since we have a visitor here, Mary Arnaud, who said she would like to give us some information, and her schedule is a little short this morning. So Mary, if you'd like to, you could come sit at the table here and read your letter, if that's what you'd like to do.
Yes, that'd probably be most efficient that way.
Okay, so please do.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to address the committee this morning. This letter is to the members of the golf course committee. On the morning, my name is Mary Arnott. I live at 51 Teresa Road in Hopkinton, Massachusetts. On the morning of Sunday, July 31st, 2022, around 9:20 a.m., I was driving north on Porterville Road by the Southborough Golf Course when my car was struck by a golf ball. I'm here to address the golf committee to go on record of the incident. In doing so, it is my hope that this, or worse, will not happen to anyone else. If the golf ball had been less than an inch lower, it would have shattered my window and passed through the car, most likely striking me. I could have been injured severely or worse. The impact was so loud that it frightened me into slamming on my brakes. Luckily, there were no cars behind me. And by the way, no cars in front of me that morning either. I then pulled over to the side of the road and got out of my car to inspect what had happened. I found the dent on the right front passenger side just above the window. After seeing the dent, I immediately drove to the Southborough police station and explained what happened. I was instructed to wait outside by my car for an officer who would come and take the report. Officer Riley Brown, very nice officer by the way, arrived and took my report. I took pictures of the damage and emailed them to him. His report is forthcoming. See the attached email to me this morning. I attached his email to the letter that he sent me this morning. After Officer Brown had all the information, I drove to the golf club office and reported the problem. I spoke with the attendant, Terry, and asked to speak to the manager. Terry said the manager wasn't in the office, but I could have the phone number to call him. I then asked Terry for the manager's name, which he provided as John Allen. I then asked Terry to call Mr. Allen. Terry was not able to reach Mr. Allen, so he left a message and said that he would have Mr. Allen phone me, which he did on Monday, August 1st, 2022 at approximately 11:28 a.m. Mr. Allen apologized for what happened, said he was glad that I was all right, and said that it wasn't the first time something like this had happened. We spoke for just over 9 minutes. By the way, don't get after Mr. Allen for saying that, because I immediately went to church after the incident, and there were people at my church, St. Mark's, who told me, oh yeah, golf balls are coming out of that course all the time. You see them on the cemetery lawn and everything. So I already knew that other incidents had happened, and he was being honest with me, and I appreciate that. On Monday morning, August 1st, 2022, I also called the town of Southborough's town administrator's office to report what happened, as I will be filing a damage claim against the town. Vanessa spoke with me and emailed me a damages for defects in ways form. Also, I drive on Porterville Road frequently. Each time now I get tense and worry as I pass the golf course. It's not a welcomed experience. As I wait Officer Brown's report and estimates to repair the damage to my car, I am submitting this letter today to go on record with the golf club committee and the town. In doing so again, it is my hope that you will take action to prevent golf balls from exiting the course. where pedestrians and cars can be struck. As I said earlier in my letter, I do not want this type of incident or worse to happen to anyone else. By the way, I need to sign it now that you've accepted it, because I just realized my signature's not on it. Thank you. That would not be a good oversight. Thank you. And yours, please. Thank you. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Nick?
Not at this time, though.
Ira, any questions for Mary?
No.
Bill?
No? Questions, there's regular traffic, and there's some golfers there that lack certain skills, so this happens from time to time. The volume of cars there, it's not a lot, but one bad ball is too much because of a certain injury. So we are meeting with the golf course architect this afternoon. It's just another area that we'll look at, the possibility of putting some kind of fencing on that first green to at least eliminate the low shots that would impact a pedestrian.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Damages to cars can be fixed. What really struck me was how close I had come to that golf ball going through my window and possibly striking me, because it was hit quite hard. The impact was so loud, it startled me. That's why I slammed on the brakes, because I didn't hit a car, there's nobody around me, but I appreciate the fact that the town wants to have a lovely golf course. But I'm hoping that something can be done before you get sued for something worse happening, because if it had hit me, well, I don't even want to think about it. It would have probably struck me right in the head the way that, it went. Mad golfers.
Yes, Lynn?
Do we know if there could have been a second?
Yes, as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think personally, someone who calls there, I think someone's going up there. The second.
That's true. So, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
both.
I just wanted-
It is both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
I-
not just behind the first screen, but you're right.
I think that's right.
I was so startled, I didn't think to stop and take pictures of the golf course area. I just immediately wanted to get up off the road and get to the police station for the report. So, yeah, I know it's not an easy thing to put up a fence, a net, something, but sooner or later, because of the volume of cars that go up and down Porterville, somebody's gonna get really hurt. And it's my hope the town won't give me any problem with paying for the damages. Because most likely, I have a very large deductible on my insurance policy, and I don't think I should have to turn it in, but we'll see about that, so. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
So Mary,
Yes.
thank you first of all for taking the time to come in and tell us about this. It's obviously unfortunate that this happened. As Bill said, we're looking at making changes around the course to try to reduce the number of balls that leave the course. So hopefully this doesn't happen certainly to you again. We don't have any role in the town's reacting to the payment
I'm
that you've asked, but good luck with that.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you taking the time to stop up today.
I appreciate the time, and thank you for letting me interfere with your agenda.
No,
I hope lightning doesn't strike twice.
this is why we're here. So thank you very much.
Thank
Mary.
you.
Have a nice
Good to
day.
meet you. I'll have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know that we have minutes to review today, do we?
We do, if you want me to share them.
Oh, sure. Let's do that then.
Okay, let me find them. And you see them.
Make that a little larger, please.
Yep.
So very important.
So again, they're a little bit lengthier than I intended. I'll summarize, but scroll through slowly. And
You don't need to talk through it, so. just wait for a second. Okay, if you scroll down, please, yeah. Okay, keep going, please. And one more time. Great. Are there any comments on the minutes? I guess we have to vote to approve them. So if someone has to motion to approve the minutes. I motion to approve the minutes. I think I'm allowed to second, so I'll second. In a roll call, so Nick? To approve? I approve. Ira?
I
approve. Okay, so we approve the minutes. Oh, and we need someone to take minutes today. I will.
I'm doing
it. Oh, you're doing it. Okay.
I've got it.
And I'll take it next time. So moving on in the agenda then. So following up on the Latiscama residents' concerns and just in general, trying to keep more golf balls on the course. Bill, anything new to add? Any new ideas? If you want to come sit at the table here, anything new to report on improvements on fencing or other things that we've talked about?
I don't think there's much new to report other than the options that we discussed for primarily the 7th hole. They've been discussed in the last 3 or so months with the town administrator, with select person, and with people on this committee. The golf course architect firm that designed the 1st and 9th hole and has done a lot of other work for me at numerous golf courses is visiting Southborough this afternoon, and he's going to take a look at the holes 6T, the 7th hole, and look at options for moving the tee, and we'll consider the option of moving the green if that's a better option. And in addition, we'll have a look at possible fencing that could be installed behind the 1st and the 2nd hole.
Okay. Yes, then.
I have a couple meetings ago, I said I checked with the director and Bill Bryan knows it's, but originally, when everything that we did design the original. We were recommending the second step, but the architect that time had no recommending changes.
Okay, thank you. Well, so it'll be good to walk around the course then this afternoon.
Yes.
And talk about what some of the options are. And then we'll discuss next steps after that.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion about agenda item 3 here?
just confirming, we think that the architect will be there around 2 o'clock.
Yes, he said he's traveling from New York. He said between 1 and 2. I asked John Allen to send him a text or call him at approximately 12 o'clock to confirm a more exact time of when he'd be arriving. And I will contact the committee members, or John will, to confirm that time.
So why don't we do this? I know I cannot be there by 1, but I certainly can be there by 2. So why don't we just settle on 2 o'clock?
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ira will meet at 2 o'clock.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Is there more discussion, moving on to the next agenda item, is there more discussion we'd like to have today about the charge of duties?
The one thing I'll mention relative to that is that I did provide you and Nick with soft copies of the 2019 final committee report and long-range plan, and we had discussed looking over that and potentially updating it as one of our items. I'm not suggesting we do that today, but just want to acknowledge that that is done, at least in terms of finding the original document.
Yeah, so I think that would be good for us to start talking about next time. Is, what should the plan be for the course longer term? So I think, we kind of settled into a little bit of routine there, getting a little bit organized. So I think that would be a good topic for next time. So I agree. So if we could all review that material, then why don't we'll have a discussion about that next time.
I know that the committee, so they've got soft copy of the town floor and soft floor. But it's not available to general public, right, on the website.
That I don't know.
And I'm sure it'd be, I don't know.
So it seems like that's a document we should be able to share with everyone, with the previous master plan or the current, the most recent master plan.
Right.
I don't know, how do we share that sort of information? Do we put it up on the website?
I'll put you back.
Jim, town clerk?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do that.
And he should already have his own copy, because like he did submit the final minutes in the soft copy.
Yeah, I'm unable to hear Lynn clearly, but I was unable to find it on the town website. I ended up scanning in a hard copy that I had.
And I did check with Lou, and he said that at the time that he submitted the final minutes in the long-range plan to the town clerk. And he said
Okay.
it was also submitted to the select board. I don't know if he did that directly or through the town clerk.
Okay, so I will take the action to determine how best to get that posted so everyone can see the current master plan. Yep, very good. Moving on to item 5 here, other matters properly before the committee. So I had an action item from last time to talk to the town about the parking lot, what the current plan is or the expenses. And so I have an email thread going with a few people in town, but I don't have any firm answers yet. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more information about that next time. Other matters that we'd like to discuss today?
Potentially adding more committee members.
Sure. So we've had the town clerk or someone in the town office contacted me last week and said that someone new has volunteered to be on the committee, which would be great. So I said, that would be great. I have not heard yet if that person is officially joining the committee or not. So we have 3 members now. There's room for 5. So we certainly would love to have 1 or 2 more members join. So if that new person shows up, then we'll have a 4th member.
No, the person's online.
They are not online.
Okay, so you don't, you see people online.
I can see who's online. Yes, so I can see who's online.
And I'm inviting you up.
It'd be very nice to have, someone from the Women's League join. That would be a very good thing, since they're such avid users of the course. Nick mentioned he has a friend who he talked to. I also talked to a friend of mine who lives in town who's an avid golfer. So hopefully we can get a 4th or 5th member.
So
So
this
there-
is Rosemary. I am online. I don't know why you can't see me, but I am here and I am a member of the Women's League.
Sure.
That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Other topics we'd like to discuss today? Public comment? Yes, why don't you come up to the table so we can hear you, Lynn?
New umbrellas are great. Unfortunately, it's been so hot out, we've stayed inside, but I appreciate getting the new umbrellas and appreciate the men's room sign being taken down.
Very good.
So I think that was still waiting for, and I know this is a town thing, not a golf course thing, but I still think of some type of a plaque acknowledging accident would be fabulous.
All right, we'll keep them on our agenda item.
I think that's all I have.
Okay, then unless there's something else, I think we're ready to adjourn. I'll ask one last time. Any other topics for today?
There's none for me.
Ira, anything else?
The only thing I can think of is, thank you for following up on your action item. I have not heard from Sam relative to finding us some assistance in doing an analysis of the alternatives for irrigation. Obviously not urgent, but again, since Bill in particular indicated that work done in the fall is optimal, maybe we should ping Sam on that between now and our next meeting.
Would you mind pinging him just to see what he might have to say?
I will do it.
Okay. Yes, so I can't think of anything else right now. Oh, other than Sam did send me last week a lot of, I don't know, historical documents about the golf course. A lot of just, and some of them are pretty big, so I'll figure out how to forward them to you guys so you can see all of this information. That was great. Yeah.
The history of the golf course is actually on the golf course website.
Yeah.
That's
A little
what
bit of
the-
history, yeah.
And maybe it's not history so much as just a whole bunch of information that he accumulated. So there's quite a few documents. So I'll forward that to you guys. Okay, well then I think we're all set for today, and we need to officially adjourn. So would someone like to move that we adjourn the meeting?
Before we do that, can we just settle on next date?
Oh, yes. I think it's worth continuing to do this every 2 weeks for a while, but what do you guys think about that?
Works with my schedule.
Good for me too. I just wanted to confirm it.
So why don't we look at our calendars here? Yep, 2 weeks from today would work for me again. So does that work for you guys?
Yes.
The 18th at 9 o'clock?
And a question which you may not be able to answer relative to that. If that room works for you guys, is it possible for us to drive the Zoom from there so that I can physically be in the same place with you?
Yes, that must be possible. I mean, so I'm connected to Wi-Fi here on my laptop, so it must be possible to drive the Zoom from here. So why don't we all, if we can all make it in person and use the owl, let's do that again next time.
Great. Thank you.
Perfect.
I move to adjourn.
Excellent. I'll second. All in favor? Ira?
Aye.
I'll agree. Aye. So we have adjourned at 9:22. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see you later, Ira.